My name is Sochi Mopaka. I'm a student of Godfrey Okoye University, a private institution. I'm in 300 level. I'm studying psychology. The prophecy the man of God gave to me last week was true. I was sitting right there. Then I was just sitting down. Then he said, there is a young lady here. You have the problem of bedwetting. You're sitting at the back of the woman wearing a spectacle. So I was like, first of all, my mind was not there. I was like, something tapped me. This woman in front of you is wearing a spectacle. I was like, Jesus, it's me. I ran out. So this issue of bedwetting have been disturbing me. It has caused me so much pain for the past 20 years. Since my secondary school days that I have known I've had the ability, this bedwetting. Then this situation, it cost me not to stay in a boarding school and during my secondary school. Though me, I wanted a boarding school, but my mom, as a kid she was like, no, you will not go to a boarding school. So I was like, why? She said, best known to me, don't worry. With time I grew up, I was in SS1. Then I understood what was bedwetting. During that time, the issue of bedwetting disgraced me severally. It did not disgrace me as much as when I entered the university. Because you were under your mom's care, your mom was trying to clothe you and cover you up, no matter what it is. The shame was not there as of the university level. When I was seeking for admission, so around that time, my mom was looking for a university near to us just because of that issue of bedwetting. Then there came a time it stopped, as in like I was not experiencing it. So she was like, okay, you can live in the boarding in the university. When I went back to school in my first year, this situation disgraced me, as in several occasions. Because in the school, in a room, there are 4 in there. Then in a boarding school, some people who know how they live in a boarding school, there is a place you stay 2 in a room, 3, it depends. But this one, we are 4. And that day, because I came in newly, I was in the up bunk. So when I was in the up bunk, I was sleeping. I just slept off. Then I bedwetted. It touched the person down. Then another case was on a broad daylight like this. I was sitting down. I just came back from school. I was just sitting down on the bed of another person. I dozed off. Within 5 minutes, I've bedwetted in someone else's bed. And when I woke up, I started crying. I was like, what will I do now? If this person comes back and says this, what will she tell me? So in order to be clever, I took the bed up to my own side, took my own bed to hers, washed her bed sheets. Then when I washed it, when she came back, she said, why did you wash my bed sheet? Did I beg you? I told her no, that I was drinking Fanta mistakenly. It poured. So I don't want her trouble. So that's why I washed it. I thought that one was, but oftenly it started occurring to the extent that they knew about it. And whenever all these things happen, I run to my mom. She will be like, continue praying. God will hear your prayers. I'll be like, praying. Since you have been praying, nothing has happened. She was like, continue praying, have that faith. It has disgraced me in my cousin's place in the village. It has disgraced me many places in this life. I can't go out. I had to in order not to be cleaning up, because it's not every day you'll be washing your bed, because people around will be like, this girl is so clean. she's washing her bed sheet every day. They'll feel like you are so clean, but they will not know the situation which you're passing through. But even if you wash the bed sheet, the bed itself, even if you take it outside for the sun to touch it, the smell sometimes comes out. And what will you tell them? So I resorted to start sleeping on the floor. So I started sleeping on the floor. I wake up as early as anything, just to wash up, clean up. Sometimes, not for people not to be like, what's happening, to be suspicious. I put it into a nylon. Sometimes, take it back home. Sometimes for my mom to wash, to help me and wash it, so I will not be disgraced.
Okay. Could you share with us your experiences and what happened till now?
That day, after the prayer, I went back to the hotel room. I was like, are you serious? Just like that? That I'm not sure it's true. Then I went home. My mom was like, have faith. It's done. I said, okay, let's see. I took 6 sachets of water that night. I said, because normally I don't take water or anything from 5 or 6 p.m. So I took water. I drank it. I made sure that I was as in full enough. I was like, okay, let's try it. I went to the bed. I just laid down. So normal me, even if you want to pray or something, sometimes you doze off, you just sleep off, or something will happen. So I was just like, that day, I brought out my faith bracelet. I said, how will I start now? So I brought out my faith bracelet. I said, like, okay, they do it like this. I started meditating. I was counting. I was like, what will I say? I remember they said, oh, Holy Spirit, take more of me and give me more of you. I was like, okay, let's start with that one now. I started counting it. As I was doing that, I slept off. I woke up around 9. Normally, I must wake up like 4 or 5 times. And during those process of waking up, I'll be like, I'll be tired of sleeping. I'll say, let me not sleep. Let me just be awake. So if the urine come, I'll go and urinate. But this one, I didn't wake up. I just slept, woke up without bedwetting on the bed. And since then, in the past 7 days, I've never bedwetted. I've been sleeping.
And before now, it
now,
happened every day.
I bedwet every day. Every day. I got used to it. I was like, if I wake up, I'll just wash. Normal thing now. That was it. But I woke up that morning. I was like, hey, let me go and wash it. Oh, it's morning now. So I woke up. I looked around. I was like, I'm dry. I said, okay, maybe let me check the floor. Maybe I was turning. Then I urinated on the floor. I checked the floor. I smelled my clothes. I was like, this is true. Ha. So I'm free indeed.
You listen to that? You know, being a young girl, she has never experienced this kind of thing. They have gone many places. Okay, let's see. Where will I start? This is to tell you that when it is your time, when you meet a man God sent to you, whether you believe or not, it will definitely happen. But that your belief will only help you to maintain that God sent the man to give you. You know, when the prophecy concerned her, she looked back and said, are they calling me? She was not here because of that. So she just believed that it's a normal way of life. It will continue like that, but a different thing is here for. But after even deliverance, she now began to ask herself, does it mean I'm free? Is that how things happen? And so on and so forth. When you meet a man that God sent to set you free, to deliver you, it may not be a man, it may be an object. You know, God can use anything. Not necessarily human being. An object. Could be water, could be anything. Whether you believe it or not. You may not believe, but it will happen. But to now maintain that blessing, your belief is important. This is what youth need now to come back to God. Youth, their heart is so hardened. The young people today, this is what they need to come back to God. When you tell them about Jesus and you are very, very eloquent, they will tell you they study it in university. But they want to see what they have not and they cannot study in university happen to them. What happened now? Call youth and begin to preach about Jesus, about God. They will tell you that, look, they studied all this in school, and those who are not studying in the school, they'll say, no, I can take a book and read about it. But they want to experience what they have not studied in university and what they cannot study in the college. They are yearning for a new thing, a new wave, a new direction, a new course. This is why it's difficult for us to change our youth, or to tame our youth, or to mentor our children. Is this you cannot mentor your children? You go this way, they go that way. Because all you are telling them, they know better than you.
Man of God, I want to thank you for allowing God to use you to deliver me, because I felt like all hope was lost. I felt isolated. I don't want to come close to people. I'll be like, if you know the problem I'm passing through, will you like to be my friend and the rest? I'll be like, I felt this is my world. This is how I have to face it.
Can we ask you one question? And I want you to be free and tell us, why you are going through this problem, what were you actually thinking of to do with your life? There are problems that your parents cannot help you. Nobody can help you. And in this situation, you have many things you keep to yourself, which you did not want to tell anybody. And you always thinking about, what were you thinking to do with your life? Why are you going through this problem? Tell us.
So many times I felt like committing suicide. I feel like, let me end it all. How can I come out in front of people and tell them I'm bedwetting? Even when suitors come, I'll be like, are you people serious? If you know what I am, that I'm bedwetting, will you want a bedwetter as your wife or anything? So I just felt like always to commit suicide. So many times I've tried to do it in front of my mom. She'll be like, stop it, it's not the end of the world.
It's over, that's why we are asking you questions. We're not making jest. We are happy with you. And we want to learn. Did you ever think that one day you'll meet a man in your future that will accept you with that bedwetting? As beautiful as you are, a man will accept to marry you with that bedwetting. Will tell us.
No.
Why?
I concluded I'm not getting married. I don't want to get married.
Why? Why?
Because I feel like it's a shame who accepts me no matter what it is.
Will you rise up and give glory to God? Give glory to God. When she was sharing the testimony, you just look at it. She's a bedwetter. God heal her. You never knew that it's more than that. Inside her, she was planning to commit suicide. And look at it. He said, and all this, he kept it away from her mom. With that, she can never be an obedient child to her mom because she felt there's something parents cannot solve. This problem, my parents cannot solve it. This is where disobedience comes. I have this problem, who can solve it? Nobody. Definitely, the thought of not obeying your parents. Give thanks to God for this. Hallelujah. There are many things she was keeping away from you. She's right. Because she thought, since you could not help her. Okay, what else again? You saw her then as obedient child. Is trying to be obedient. But she has a tongue. in her flesh, which no one could. If it is cancer, no problem. Nobody will know until it's very serious. But this one, you can't keep it. For how long will you keep it? The whole student, they knew about it. If you give it to a man you want to marry, after you get to the house of the man, 1 week, 2 weeks, the man will know. So let's hear from you. What message do you have for the viewers all over the world?
I advise the viewers all over the world to have faith.
You are now preach faith now. Glory be to God. He said you should have faith, you. A faithless generation now become faith. He said have faith.
Yeah, I preach them to have faith because, as I was made to understand, joy is the fruit of faith. So have faith. God is the God of the last hour, no matter the time or you feel all hope was lost. Just believe in God. Always trust in Him. He will do it. He's the one who does the impossible to be possible. So just have faith in Him. And to the youths out there, there are so many situations which you've passed through. You feel is the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. Run on to God. He is the only true Father that never fails.
Thank you. Thank you. Clap for her. Mama, you are happy.
Yes, I'm very, very happy.
Now you are having a child. Before, she belonged to someone, not you. She was a child you could lose then in the past, suddenly. But now here you have a child. Let me ask you a question. When you knew that your daughter was going through all this situation, what was your effort to rescue her? What effort? Tell us just in a nutshell. At what time you knew about this? And at the same time, did he actually try to keep this challenge away from you? Or she was open to let you know this is it. Anytime this situation happens, she was open to you. Tell us.
My name is Upaka Jimmy Emmanuel. I discovered this when she entered secondary school, because at that time she was supposed to, to be free, not to be bedwetting. So when I now noticed that, I went closer to her. I now asked her, some questions. She started telling me that, in fact, that she doesn't like what she's seeing, that it's better for her to die. So I told her that it's not the best to.
She said it's better for her to do what?
To die.
Okay, she has told you this.
So that was what made me to even go closer. So I never allowed her to stay alone.
Okay, you knew that she was nursing to die.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
When I noticed it, I took her to the hospital the first time to check her system. And they said that nothing was wrong with her. So I went to many places, for prayers, and there was no solution. So I now said that I must come here with her, because I know that this is the only place that I will have solution to that problem. And that was why I brought her.
God is good all the time. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Hallelujah. Yes. While you are sitting down, wherever you are, viewers all over the world, begin to compare your situation to this lady situation. What kind of situation are you having that can be compared with our former situation? This is how faith comes. Many of you think you have to read Bible from Genesis to Revelation. Faith is natural. Immediately you realize that God is reliable with what you are saying now. He is reliable. This show, Jesus is reliable. Jesus is what? He's reliable. And immediately you agree, you believe, hey, Jesus is reliable. Faith grow spontaneously, naturally. It comes just like that. And you begin to build on that. So you need to now establish it. Jesus is reliable. I can rely on him. He will never fail. This is, no matter the situation you have, you are looking for faith. Faith. How will I get faith? How will I get faith? I will memorize the Bible. I will read my Bible from Genesis. I will go to church every day. Yes, good. It's a good idea, if one. But one of the shortest way to have that faith in God is the one we have just witnessed now. You have heard, you have seen, and the lady is confessing what she went through, and you saw how she was spot, and she came out, and immediately, by the name Jesus Christ, be delivered. She screamed without touching her. Immediately. Now it's over. So when you now sit down and meditate over and over and turn it over and over in your heart, tell your neighbor, turn it over and over in your heart. I can hear you. I say, what you hear now, what you have seen now, turn it over and over again in your heart. Tell your neighbor, tell your neighbor. I can hear you. I can hear you. Again and again. Yes, you have to. Now you have seen what happened. It is time now to turn it over and over again in your heart. Here, faith comes. Only faith pleases God. Begin to turn it over and over. Tell your neighbor, begin to turn it over and over in your heart. In your heart, in your heart. That is, in a natural way, we call it thinking, but it's not thinking, meditation. Because when you think, thinking is here, meditation is above thinking. Because faith prevails over thinking processing. Faith prevails over what? If you now use the word thinking, you are not right. Faith prevails over what? Thinking processing. So meditation, begin to meditate over and over again in your hearts. How do we think? The word thinking naturally is, I'm poor. With my prayer, the answer today, would this man discover me in the midst of people? Would this man fetch me out just in the same way he fetched this lady? What time are we living here today? I don't know. I still feel the pain. Would the man pray for me? But I'm feeling hungry now. If I live here, somebody will take over my seat. I will not leave. And I'm pressed now. I will endure. These are the thinking. Thinking means what we don't mean. Often you don't mean. By the time I meet you, you change. Because it's not from your heart. Oftentimes, what we think, we don't mean it. Tell your neighbor, oftentimes, what we think, we don't mean it. But if you are able to meditate over an issue, you mean it because it's from your heart. What is going on in your heart now is thinking. Tell your neighbor, what is going on in your heart? Your mind is floating. It's floating. By the time I want to pray for you, you say, is he going to fall me? You will not say it out, but in your mind, immediately I face you, because you normally see the way people roll in on the floor and fall down, and the camera, you know, they will be looking at you at home. And you say, some people don't believe that once you fall, you are a witch or wizard. Whereas there is nothing like that. People don't believe once you fall, But, and you know, when you fall down, the people will say, we saw when they were delivering you. We don't know that you are the cause of our problem. Many people are here today. Immediately I get to them, this is the way you see them standing. In their heart, they say, is he going to fall me? So that is thinking. As we are talking now, people that have God seems to lose it again. A lot of things going on in your heart. You don't believe. You just believe everything is money. 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 How can somebody give me something like this without? No. People lost God because they believe that they can't get anything, be he, without money exchange. You want God back? Give freely. God is looking for people that will give freely. Are you ready to give freely? Even though you don't have. Can you give freely? Yes. Give freely and see what will happen. Your life will change suddenly. Before you have abundance in your pocket, you don't have now, you can still give freely. Soon, you have abundance. We lost God because we believe we cannot give without receiving money.
And man of God, I want to beg for something. Please, I need one fruit.
Even not only you and your mommy should come and take fruit. No, if that will make her to follow Jesus fully, in fact, I will ask you to carry the whole basket here. I said, I will give you anything for salvation of your soul. She is not the one I deliver. Oh. She's not going to carry fruit. Oh, yeah, carry it, go. Okay, thank you.
Bien, la mère et la fille repartirent avec les fruits sur l'autel après que la fille ait donné son témoignage et qu'elle ne peut plus pipi au lit après la prière, la prophétie de Dieu dimanche dernier. Elle est complètement libre.
Better way to pay your tithe is to learn how to give out there free. You know them, those who need what you have, give them freely. You are paying your tithe. Viewers all over the world, every good thing the Lord has given you, use it to bless and care for those who are in need of what you have. Those who are in need of what you have, you know them. Poor, needy, widow, this, that, and those whom you are better. Help them. Like I have said. May I smile? Just say to your neighbor, I love you. What a wonderful blessing. And this must come from your heart. When I say neighbor, could be your enemy, could be those who are not share the same faith with you. Say to them, I love you with all your heart. Tell your neighbor. Tell your neighbor. Again. Tell your neighbor again. Again and again.
Dile a tu vecino, dile a tu prójimo, te amo.
Again and again. Love with all your heart. it delivers one, it blesses one, it heals the wound of one. We are not talking of fleshly love. Say, I love you with all my heart. If I love you with all my heart, your wound will be healed. You feel the presence of God immediately. Can you say to your neighbor, I love you? I can hear you. I can hear you. So can you rise up and let me bless you with this language? Rise up. If you now go out and say, I love you, and it's not from your heart, you are raining curses to yourself. It's a message, and you should live by this message. So are you ready to receive the word love in your heart? Receive in the name of Jesus. Receive in the name of Jesus. When you love your neighbor with all your heart, you love God. When you help your neighbor with all your heart, you help God. When you greet your neighbor with all your heart, you greet God. When you help your neighbor with all your heart, you help God. You have been helping people for so long, God was not aware, because this help is not from your heart. You can give $1 trillion, billion pounds to people as a way of help. But if it's not from your heart, you are wasting your time. If your worship is not from your heart, you are wasting your time. Christianity lies in the heart. Christianity lies in where? In the heart. When you greet your neighbor with all your heart, you greet God. When you help your neighbor with all your heart, you help God. If you have been helping your neighbor with all your heart, God will help you. You'll be helped. Help, you'll be helped. Show mercy and you receive mercy. Show kindness and you receive kindness. But you have been doing this, but not with all your heart. This is why you keep asking yourself, look, and I help people. I do this. I train this man. I help this man. I pay the loan for this man. I pay school fees for this man. I help this man. I train this man. But at the end, it was opposite to you. Because all these are not from your heart. You are doing them for a reason not to you. Viewers, listen. Just say to your neighbor, and your neighbor could be your enemy, those who are not share the same faith with you, say to your neighbor, I love you. And this must be with all your heart. And if you love your neighbor with all your heart, you love God. And if you love God, what happens? What comes next? God will be your strength, your provider. If God becomes your provider, what a blessing. I command your heart to receive the word love. Love enough. 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 Love enough.
Amelo sufficiente.
When you have this love we are talking about, you always see your contribution to others as God's responsibility. Whatever you give to God. Someone run to you, someone is in need of help. You say, this man is not a Christian and is in need of help. Can you see? What are you reading in the Bible? You need to move above your senses. It's mere senses. Tit for tat. What is the message you are taking home now? Are you going to say that to your enemy? Yes. Those who are not sharing the same faith with you? Yes. Once again? Oh my God, clap for Jesus.
Please subscribe, like and share.